Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Microgreens Show. As you can see from the backdrop behind me, I am in Chicago, Illinois. We are filming another episode of the Microgreens Show. This is not the episode that we're going to show you. We'll show you this later on down the line. So last Tuesday, I was asked to be on a podcast, and so this episode is all about that podcast. Okay, so let's move forward to the podcast. Have fun and enjoy yourself, and happy Friday.
Hey, Brock. Hey, everybody.
You doing good?
Great.
You doing good today? Good.
Absolutely.
Real quick, before we get talking to Nick and Roberto, like we've done before, just kind of introduce yourself to the people who maybe are tuning in for the first time and tell them a little bit about your company, your product, TerraPlenish, if you could, please.
Okay, my name is Cathy, and I founded a company called Feed Earth Now in 2012 that converts large volumes of commercially generated food waste, mainly fruits and vegetables, into a liquid nitrogen-fixing bacteria for organic agriculture, which has been proven to work in substantially increasing yields, and particularly in cannabis. We talked about corn last week, and I brought a good friend of mine who's been using TerraPlenish in the hydroponics arena for about 6 years now.
Awesome. And we're going to get to meet them right now. First, Nick, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, I'm Nick Greens. I'm a horticulturist / consultant. I specialize in hydroponics, mainly in microgreens, baby greens, lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers. And usually in greenhouses and indoors. I'm working on projects throughout the United States right now.
Oh, very nice. And with us on the phone as well is, I would say, one of your co-workers, and that's Roberto. Roberto, just kind of give us a little introduction to yourself as well.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, good morning. We are starting an interesting project out here in rural Bennett, growing microgreens in passive solar greenhouses. Our main clients include restaurants, grocery stores, individual people. One of our main missions is to take them beyond the garnish and make them a crop for food security in Colorado.
Very good. Okay, so yeah, let's break it down, because now we've heard from both of you microgreens, and there's maybe people out there like, well, I think I know what they're talking about, but I'm not sure.
A little weed.
No, not
totally different.
What exactly is a microgreen, if you were to break it down for someone?
Break it down in simple form is microgreen is basically any variety of a plant that's grown anywhere from 10 days to 14 days. It can be any brassica along with amaranth, popcorn, sunflower, and the seeds that we use are the same exact seeds that are out there. We just look for different characteristics in microgreen seeds is why there are such thing called microgreen seeds. Okay.
And Roberto, you mentioned that you're kind of looking at expanding this. For microgreens, how is this going to grow now? How do I word this? What's the best way to word this? Like, what benefits can we see from what you guys are starting to establish now in the area that you're in there in Colorado?
Totally. Well, here at Emerald Gardens, we really try to experiment with producing a lot and having a minimal footprint in terms of our output. So this is an experiment in producing a lot of food, a lot of highly nutritious food, because microgreens contain 4 to 40 times more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients than mature vegetables.
Wow.
So we're able to maximize nutrition per square foot, and that allows us to feed a large number of people in our state.
That's unbelievable. That's crazy. Now, Nick and Cathy mentioned this earlier on. You obviously are a fan of TerraPlenish, and you got on with them, I believe, about 5 years ago. For what you guys are working now, you and Roberto there at Emerald Gardens, how has TerraPlenish helped you in this new venture that you're doing, or what you've been working on over the last 5 years?
So what goes on is when you grow microgreens, there's a lot of dampering off. And dampering is basically when plants just die. They just all of a sudden just die off. The roots just kind of start dying, and the top just follows through. and I couldn't explain what was going on, so I kept on working with other scientists to figure out what was going on. And the root of it is plants don't like to be crowded together like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get dampering off naturally. But when we started to use Terra Replenish, we noticed the dampering was like not even there. Because you got to think about it. Microgreens are only a 10-day to 14-day product from seed to harvest. So we just need that short window to get through, and Terra Replenish allows the plant to kind of to get to that window. So it helps. For instance, Emerald Gardens over here, it helps them, secure that they're going to get that product to the restaurants and grocery stores.
I can't believe the turnaround, how quick that is. Now, you said you're doing solar greenhouses there. What kind of setup are you guys going? What kind of square footage are we looking at? Is this a small setup for right now? Are you looking to expand? Is it a larger one? Kind of explain to everyone what kind of building you're working with.
Yeah, so we partnered with a greenhouse company in Boulder called Ceres.
Okay.
They do passive solar design. What that does is it harvests the sunshine and regulates the temperature during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also combined it with a climate battery. Some people also call it a GAT system, which stands for ground-to-air heat transfer, which is a series of pipes that go underneath the foundation and cool or warm the air in the greenhouse through geothermal passive solar technology.
Wow.
So that allows us to not rely so much on our heating and cooling implements and just run fans in this passive solar greenhouse. The data shows that we will be keeping the temperature and the humidity consistently throughout the year so that the plants don't experience too many drastic fluctuations.
That's unbelievable. So we're talking year-round farming here.
Year-round farming, weekly seeding and harvesting and delivery. So it's pretty intense.
That is, absolutely. And again, with that turnaround rate, like you were talking about, 10 to 14 days, obviously you're putting out a lot of product. And this just brings to mind, as we talk about population growth and everything and having more mouths to feed, is that something you're trying to tackle too, is making sure with all the people coming around, we got enough food for everyone?
Absolutely. One of the main experiments that we tried was actually growing in shipping containers. And for us, that was the quickest way to get up and running through the winter.
Wow.
We didn't have our main greenhouse built yet, so that got us through. And it gave me the idea of perhaps this being a future solution for weather-stricken, disaster-stricken areas to get up and running and produce food for their people.
Oh, my God. This is unbelievable. You're blowing my mind right now, guys. This is the first time I've heard of it. And this is so cool. Nick, as you kind of expand now and you're doing more, is this a testing phase that you guys are working on right now? Or is this kind of a hitting the ground running and we're ready to produce?
No, we're hitting the ground running and ready to produce. I'm working with companies, for as long as like 5 to 6 years already, okay. And they're still producing at this moment. Microgreens, I see throughout the whole world. All the mom and pop companies are growing, along with the bigger companies are growing.
Okay,
they have not hit a ceiling yet to the market. So.
Everybody's still eating.
We all have enough. Right, we have too much right now. That's the problem. As far as the agricultural industry, any blowback on this? Has there been any issues with maybe some of the larger farming corporations on what you guys are doing that you've seen? Well, I mean, obviously, I know you're not.
No,
you don't want to speak negatively.
They're buying into this. Actually, a lot of the mom and pop companies, a couple of big Monsanto companies have been approaching them to buy what they created because they got a lot of. There's one microgreen guy. His name's City Farms. He's not only a microgreen producer, but he also helps microgreen producers build businesses and then sells them all the equipment. So he's been approached by a lot of companies to buy what he's built up already. So,
okay.
Yes, there's very serious interest by commercial
and that's
already.
Across the board in agriculture, that's always like the one evil, It's like it's same thing over here. As we get going, here comes, Monsanto and different entities thereof
with deep pockets and a lot of power.
Hey, you guys are doing really good things for the people, and the people are having opportunity, and we'd really just like to take it all from you, and we'll give you a lot of money to do so. And some people say no. Some people say no.
Yep.
And that's where we need that. No.
Yeah.
And for the people.
And he did say no, by the way. So
he did say no.
Good for him.
Good. He did.
He
did.
Yeah.
2 little words.
Yeah, we had a couple no's over here too.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, we had a guy in Bangor that, well, actually his operation is just broke ground. His new one over the Mark.
Yep.
So he was approached, and somebody offered him large amounts of money for his startup hard work, and he's like, no, I'm here to do this.
Yeah, this is mine. Yeah, that's good. That's good
for them.
You guys, you said, and Nick or Roberto, either one can answer this question. Is this only for human food applications, or is this something we can look at for feeding livestock and other pets out there?
Well, this is the idea. It had come from the livestock. The fodder systems have been around for quite some time, feeding livestock already. The only thing that happened is when hay went up high, fodder systems start selling. Mm-hmm. When hay goes down, they stop producing fodder, and they just start buying the hay again.
Gotcha.
So for the animal thing, it's just up and down. But right now, we're stepping into the arena of bio-growing. So growing these same microgreens in more extreme conditions, more food safety conditions, so you can create medicines and isolate compounds out of these microgreens for autisms and stuff, different types of medical stuff. So we're stepping into that arena right now.
Wow. Okay, so it's kind of been already, when it comes to livestock and feed there, that's already kind of been applied, and now we're looking into new areas. What would maybe be, I mean, that right there, the medicine alone, and I don't want to put you out with a surprise question, but what are maybe some other applications that we could see from these microgreens?
Well, Emerald Gardens, we're also experimenting with hemp cultivation. We got our license, and we're trying to see what applications there are for micro hemp to create these isolates and other ways of farming that don't involve so much resources. Mm-hmm. A lot of the farmers out here have tons and tons of acreage, so we're really trying to maximize a different approach and create products that can really heal people.
That's and as far as could you technically have like a 10-story microgreen greenhouse? Is that something that you could possibly do, or is it like the traditional greenhouses we've seen? Or if greenhouse is the wrong term, you kind of get what I'm saying as far as a facility for producing these microgreens.
So microgreens right now are produced vertically. They are a vertically stacked system.
Okay.
In a 3,000 square foot. We can stack, I think it was 24 systems or 25 systems, and these systems are 5-level high, 4-foot wide, 12-foot long.
That's doing things.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Love to be able to grow pot like that.
So also these facilities that we're designing together are also are able to be used for cloning facilities. Right. It's the same concept, same automatic feeding. So everything that they're designing and testing could be applied to different areas and industries for sure.
And I wanted to also add that through vertical farming, with our specific crops, we don't need as much light as if we were growing tomatoes or other leafy greens. So utilizing that vertical space, even though it cuts down on some of the sunshine, it does allow us to produce beautiful greens that are robust and nutritious. So the trade-off is actually not as bad.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love seeing where new things like this, well, at least new for me, and what it's going to do for and to the agricultural industry. And right now in my mind, I'm going to go out there. I just feel like this is something we're going to see on Mars when we get colonies up there. People are going to have the microgreens grown for nutrition and everything like that.
on the side of Terraplenish, how do you feed that into your system that you have? How's that applicable in your?
So basically what goes on in the biology part of it is when we apply a Terraplenish, we apply it in the beginning stages of which is called the germination stage, and which is the most important part for any nursery, because basically a microgreen farm is a big nursery. And we use Terraplenish as a beneficial bacteria. So because we can't control what comes in our seeds in our medium, we use Terraplenish as a beneficial bacteria to spray it everywhere, So it's eating all the food. These are like super bacteria in Terra Replenish.
Right.
And it's eating all the food up, and then it doesn't allow anything else to survive, any pathogens or mold or mildew. Right. So it allows us to stack the seeds in there more dense.
And I've noticed that it doesn't seem to inhibit.
It just helps all around.
It doesn't seem to inhibit or it hurt in any fashion the intake of humic or folic acids because you need those.
It helps that. Well, because what happens is we're using the mat that we're using is a plant-based medium, and it breaks down the humic acid. So the Terra Replenish helps this break down to more humic acid.
Awesome.
So there's endless humic acid available for the building blocks of life.
Sweet.
This is awesome. And is it obviously a mix then? I mean, is it something that I don't want to say watered down, but when you apply it there, is it just a straight feed, or you guys, like you said, you kind of have a formula?
No, we got the secret sauce.
You got the secret sauce.
We got the McDonald's recipe.
Ain't giving that up on here. Don't worry. That's right. I won't prod you for that. I won't KFC recipe here.
What I like about this conversation is you guys are talking about, feeding mass, amounts of high nutritious food. Thus, back to my, epiphany of naming this company Feed Earth Now. So it just ties in together nicely. And the component of water, this being, this is a strictly water-based growing system, versus your soil-based soil system.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's interesting to me, too, because I've been doing this in my grow now I got like 3 or 4 different applications I'm doing on a hemp plant, 2 different cannabis plants. One's in a little hydro bucket thing, and the other one's in my dirt medium.
Yep.
I'm trying to, apply it in different variations. And I think where I'm going to stay with Terra Replenish right now anyway, and as far as the veg, is a strong application on the foliar and in between my flushes.
Yeah.
So right before I will flush down, and I'll put Terra Replenish down, and then I'll feed hard. Man, I mean, it's the same thing that I'm getting the same results that I was with those using more nutrients and other microbials.
So it's kind of, you find what works for you and your application and the crop that you're using, and so whether
it's
it be
very versatile.
Yeah.
Like I'd say it's very versatile. However you want to grow with it, you can.
Awesome. Well, guys, this has been just absolutely wonderful, and what you guys are doing is great, and I hope there's more people on board. Are there other people in other places kind of working what you guys are working on?
Yes. I'm working with the company in Dubai, and companies all over the other place. Some I can't even mention.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I hope more people get on board with this, because it just sounds absolutely amazing and wonderful what you guys are doing, and we appreciate you taking the time to kind of run through this, and also with your Terra Replenish experience and moving forward with that and what we've been talking about. I guess kind of we'll wrap it up with maybe, do you have what's kind of like a 5-year plan that you guys have, where you kind of want to see yourself and the Microgreens application and what you're working on, if you do have maybe a 5-year goal that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, I mean, we want to see what new technology we can kind of help create as we encounter different problems and come up with solutions for it. My main interest is actually finding shelf-stable products that we can create from microgreens. Right now, they have right about a week to a 2-week shelf life, so we want to try to expand that and see what other opportunities we have.
We get some pickled microgreens.
Did you ever experience longer shelf life? Because I have heard, like in flowers and in certain vegetables, that they're just hardier. Terra Replenish treated is hardier and does last longer. If you have a healthier plant, you're definitely going to get a longer shelf life. That's just part of it. Yes.
That's great. Well, I'm excited for this, and it's always great just learning new areas and applications in this industry and other people that are working together. It's all copacetic. It's all coming together, and people helping people, and a big picture of thing is improving this world that we have. That we're slowly trying to find these new applications, these better applications involving companies and products like TerraPlenish, and what you're doing and what Nick and Roberto are doing and what Jeremy's doing. So this is great. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Cathy, if you want to hang on the line, we'll chat with you for just a little bit more. But Nick and Roberto, good luck with everything, and hopefully we can catch up soon. And I wish you guys the best, and we appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining once again for another episode of the Microgreens Show. Stay tuned for other episodes with us going to California, going to Austin, Texas, and we are here in Chicago right now filming an episode. Have fun and happy Friday, and stay safe.